Sixers fans, what's up? Let's talk the Kyrie Irving injury. This is going to be a quick video. I just want to get some thoughts out surrounding what's going on outside of the Sixers-Hawks series right now. I'm probably going to rant a little bit about the Nuggets, maybe. Jokic, maybe. We'll dabble into it all. Quick sponsor, Mountain Dew, new flavor. Kind of fire. Kind of fire. And if you're asking, is it 12 o'clock in the morning and you're drinking Mountain Dew? Yeah, sue me. Like the video. Subscribe. Kyrie Irving goes down yesterday. X-rays were clear, I think. They were negative, but it looked pretty bad. I'm not a doctor, but it didn't look like it felt good. It probably hurt. Gonna go out on a limb. Get it? Damn, I'm good. Too soon, Greg. I think I have a couple of different opinions and thoughts about the Nets right now and the Bucks-Nets series in specific. One, I just think that the Nets are obviously a way better team than Milwaukee when healthy, but the thing is, Brooklyn has not been healthy all season long, and what Kyrie Irving going down, it was so evidently clear to the viewer's eye, was that the Brooklyn Nets have no playmaker without Kyrie or James Harden on the court. I mean, they don't have a single playmaker. KD can't be that guy. KD is a really, really good, one of the greatest scorers ever. He's a lethal dude, even at the primal age of whatever, how old he is. But he's not a playmaker. He's never been a playmaker. He's not a guy who creates shots for other people primarily. Kyrie Irving was that guy. Kyrie Irving took a backseat of scoring when he needed to playmake because he realized James Harden was out. James Harden is the best playmaker on the team, arguably one of the best playmakers in the entire NBA, and he's been out. I do think that Harden's going to come back in this Bucks-Nets series if they genuinely need him, in which I think he'll probably play Game 5. But I don't know about Kyrie, and I am not, I'm a little skeptical to say that I don't think Kyrie Irving's going to be healthy. And I don't think Kyrie Irving is really going to be playing in this series, maybe next series too if they win and they advance. But what is so crazy is that these injuries just put Milwaukee in the perfect position to feel confident again. I mean, this series was 2-0, and they were blowout. And the Bucks sucked. Budenholzer's not a good coach. And now Budenholzer, Giannis, and Middleton, and Holiday, and all of the Bucks are just getting bailed out by just unfortunate injuries given on Brooklyn's side. And it's unfortunate, man. I don't like facing a team when they're not fully healthy. Part of me really wants to see the Hawks with DeAndre Hunter to see what defensive versatility he would bring and maybe make it a little bit more of a competitive series. Don't get me wrong, I like watching the Sixers win, and I would prefer the Sixers to win, but I want to see the Sixers beat teams at full health. I want to see the Nets play the Bucks at full health. I want to see Kyrie. I want to see Harden. I want to see Durant doing their thing together on the same team because that's what basketball is. That's why I was so frustrated with Atlanta when they were booing Embiid's injury because I want to beat a team when they're at full health. If not, I just don't feel like I deserved it. And that now puts me in the situation of I think it's best case scenario if the Bucks win this series, obviously, because it's no Nets. You don't have to worry about anyone being healthy when the whole team is in Cancun sitting on a beach. I think we match up really well with Milwaukee, and I said this from the moment Giannis sat at center court, I should say, at the Sixers game, that I really want to face Giannis in the playoffs again, and I really want to face him when it matters most, and I think the Sixers have such a chip on their shoulder going up against a team like Milwaukee that I think that they're going to win that series. Against Brooklyn's a different story. Obviously, I think Brooklyn's the best team in the NBA playoffs when healthy. But when have they shown that they can be healthy? They haven't. They haven't shown to be healthy. I would like to see Brooklyn be healthy. I would like to play Brooklyn healthy. But at the same time, I want the Sixers to win. And I want the Sixers to have a road to the finals. And I want them not to have an easy road, but I want them to win it all. And what's an easier way to win it all is when you don't play other teams. So I'm kind of conflicted between what I want. I want Kyrie Irving to be okay, and I do want James Harden to be playing, and I want the Nets to be at full strength, but I want the Sixers to win, and I think they have a better chance of winning against a team that isn't at full strength. So it's interesting. That being said, I hope Milwaukee wins this series, but I hope Brooklyn comes back at full strength. That's best case scenario. I hope Harden and Kyrie play game 5, 6, 7 if they need them, and Milwaukee still wins. That's what I want, just to know that no asterisk, whatever. And then it comes into the Western Conference. Phoenix Suns won last night. They beat the Nuggets. Jokic punched Cameron Payne in the face. I don't think he should have been ejected, but I thought it should have obviously still been a flagrant foul. It's just ironic watching the MVP of the league completely crumble and just honestly struggle against the team. And statistically, he didn't struggle, but he did. I mean, he had a 30-20-10 game. That's insane, right? But he wasn't doing enough. And, like, I just think that the Nuggets team, obviously, it's unfortunate because they didn't have Jamal Murray. But even with Jamal Murray, they don't win that game. They don't win that series. The Phoenix Suns were the worst matchup possible for Denver because Phoenix has arguably the best backcourt in the NBA and arguably the best backcourt in the playoffs as we speak right now. And what is Denver's biggest Achilles heel is the fact that they can't guard an opposing guard. Like, they have no defense on opposing guards. Facundo Campazzo, even Jamal Murray, Will Barton, none of those dudes can guard a Chris Paul or a Devin Booker. And the Nuggets just shot themselves in the foot 4 games in a row because they let Chris Paul take wide open elbow jump shots. I don't play in the NBA. I've never coached a team in the NBA. And I could tell you, don't give Chris Paul wide open elbow jump shots. You're going to lose a series in 4 games. Look what happened. It's just the irony, that's the word, of the Denver Nuggets game plan. Michael Malone is a fantastic head coach, but he struggled this series. He did. He was outmatched and out-talent, but still, I think he could have come up with a better game plan. But hindsight 2020, in retrospect, it's easier saying that now than it was before, but that's that. And honestly, I don't know what to make of the Bucks-Nets series. I think the Nets should have won this series in 4, but Harden and Kyrie were out, and it ruins everything. That kind of kills everything. And then we go over to the Clippers series, in which their Clippers were down 2-0 against the Jazz, and I'm still sitting here saying it's going to be the Clippers in 6 or the Clippers in 7. I think the Clippers are the better team. I think Utah is really, really good, but I think Kawhi Leonard, knowing who Kawhi Leonard is, and if Paul George plays anything like he did last game, I don't think they're going to have such a big problem, especially with Mike Conley out, because with Mike Conley out, Utah struggles to find playmaking in at times, especially with Mitchell off the court. But at the same time, I would like to say how Donovan Mitchell has cemented himself as a top 15 player in the league, maybe top 20. He is just one of those guys, like a Jimmy Butler, except this year, like a Jamal Murray, who just completely comes alive when the playoffs come. I mean, Donovan Mitchell has been nothing short of fantastic. He's dropping 50-point games, 40-point games, 35-point games, night in and night out, and really carrying a team. What Donovan Mitchell has really proved to me the most, though, is his ability to consistently hit a jump shot and play make. Donovan Mitchell's big comparison coming out of Louisville was that he's like Dwayne Wade, right? He's like Dwayne Wade. He's going to get to the line a lot. He's going to drive a lot. He's going to get to the line. That's how he's going to go get most of his buckets. And though Donovan Mitchell does, drive to the rim a lot, he doesn't really get to the line as much as you would think he does. Also because he is become a phenomenal three-point shooter. I mean, this guy has been a way better shooter than I would ever give him credit for. And Donovan Mitchell has become a superstar, a borderline superstar. And having a guy like that on the court, and something I think I just didn't respect. My big thing with the Jazz was I don't think they have the best guy on the court come the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, but I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. I think Donovan Mitchell's up there with the likes of a Kawhi Leonard. I think he's better than Paul George, and that says a lot. That really says a lot for the progression of Donovan Mitchell. It says a lot of the progression of the Jazz. The Jazz have a very fluid offense. I don't like the Jazz, but I'm going to sit here and be honest with you when I say the Utah Jazz are really, really good. They've arguably been the second best team in the Western Conference playoffs behind the Suns because the Suns are just rolling through teams. But the Jazz are really good. I saw they had the second highest probability of winning the NBA Finals after the Kyrie Irving. The Kyrie injury, it went Phoenix, it went the Jazz, and then it went Sixers. So it's interesting. It's really interesting to look at this team in a different goggles, I don't know. But I think the Clippers are going to win this series. I think the Clippers are going to face off into the Suns. I think the Sixers are going to win this series. I'm going to miss Game 5, unfortunately. But I think the Nets are still going to prevail. I still think the Nets are going to win this series. I think it's going to be Sixers-Nets, and that's going to be a totally different ball game because You're going to see Kyrie maybe healthy. You're going to maybe see Harden back on the court. It's going to be a different Nets team. So we'll see. Peace out. Go Sixers.